Namaste, welcome back to Stithapragna channel. You are watching AWS Cloud Quest Solution Architect video game. So we are playing as Solution Architect now. Previously we played as a cloud practitioner, and then we did 12 projects or 12 quests, and then we started with Solutions Architect in the last video, and we did our first project, which was about resource monitoring. If you haven't checked that yet, go ahead and check it out, where we will learn about AWS CloudWatch with hands-on experience. Now in this video we are going to do another project about how to backup data. We will call it as backing up data. What we will be doing is we are going to help the Pup-World company, which is a pet store, create backup plans for different applications. Okay, so let's go ahead. And as you already know, since I finished these quests, they are not available with these NPCs. Instead, I have to replay them. So if I go to knowledge library, then it will show all the ones that are finished and the ones that are yet to be finished. So this is the one that we finished in last video. Now we are going to redo the backing up data. So let's click on the replay. Alright, so here we are in our diagram. And as usual, the video concepts for this are backup overview, KMS overview. And as you know, I won't play them here, but if you would like to watch this and learn the concepts, which is what I would recommend, I will ask you to go check out our playlist, which is called AWS Tutorials for Beginners. So that playlist will contain all the videos that are part of the Cloud Quest. Okay, so go watch it, then come back to want to see how those concepts are used here. Okay, so pause this, go play that videos in the AWS Tutorials for Beginners. Alright, I assume you finished that and came back. So let's look at our diagram. Step 1. Using AWS backup, you can centralize and automate data protection across AWS services. Which are all these things that you can do under backup. In this solution, AWS backup creates a backup of the Amazon EBS volumes for each Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud or EC2 instances. So we have 2 instances, and 2 instances have 2 EBS attached, and we are going to back them up. For the Amazon EBS volumes, this solution uses a new backup vault, which is a container that stores and organizes your backup. Okay, what is a backup vault? It is just a container, just like S3, which stores and organizes your backups. S3 stores your objects, backup vault stores your backups, and it will organize them. A backup plan, part of the backup vault, defines when and how you want to back up your AWS resources. Something similar to S3, right? Even there you can create a lifecycle policy, which will manage the files on S3. For example, after 90 days, if you want to delete files or move files, etc., you can create. Here it's same, and it's called a backup plan. How you want to back up your AWS resources, how often you want to. You can create multiple backup plans for different backup requirements. You can assign a resource to a backup plan, and that resource is backed up automatically according to the backup plan. You can assign resources using tags or resource IDs. So in this case, they are assigned by tags, and our resource is EBS volumes. Each backup vault must have a AWS key management service, as you can see both of them have here, which encrypts the backups placed in a backup vault. So we are not just AWS backup doesn't just backup, it will also encrypt your backups using AWS KMS, and each vault has its own. To back up an Amazon Aurora database, this solution uses the default backup vault that is created automatically for the AWS account. Okay, so I think by this we will learn about something called default backup vault. We can create our user defined backup. We have default backup plan. So Aurora uses that. So now we are done with the steps. Now let's go and look at the plan. Here we have practice lab goals. Let's turn this on. So we are going to do this as a part of practice lab goals, which means They are going to show us how to do each and every step. We will create a custom backup vault, configure an on-demand backup of Amazon EBS volume with a resource ID. Here they said assigned by tag, but okay, that's fine. Create automated backup plans, which is this for Amazon EC2 attached Amazon EBS volumes using tags. Okay, got it. Then as a DIY, which is something that we do on our own, where they are not going to tell us how to do it, we will configure an AWS backup plan for Aurora serverless cluster by using default backup plan. Then we will assign Aurora serverless cluster as a resource by using the tag backup-diy equals to true. Cool. Now let's click on practice and let's start the lab. And let's scroll down. This is as usual, and we don't have any lab files, which is good. And only steps, 29 steps. So, nah. Okay. They want us to go to EC2. I think they want us to look at the EC2 machines that are running. Then they want us to click on Web UI and then go to storage. They will show us the EBS attached to it. Amazon EC2 provides scalable computing capacity in the Amazon AWS cloud. You can use Amazon EC2 to launch as many as few virtual servers or instances as you need. Configure security and networking and manage storage. They are just talking about EC2. Then we will copy the EBS volume ID. Then click on it. The root device for an Amazon EC2 instance launched from an Amazon machine image is a Amazon EBS volume created from an Amazon EBS snapshot. So what is a root volume? Root volume is a storage device behind the scenes where your operating system is actually created. So in the case of an EC2, if you are using an AMI, which is an Amazon machine image, it is going to be EBS. And then they want us to go to that volume, select it, and then they want us to click tags and manage tags, because we are going to create tags here. So which is what they showed us here. And what tag we are going to name it, I think maybe in the next one they will show. You can assign metadata to your AWS resources in the form of tags. Each tag is a label consisting of a user defined key and value. Tags can help you manage, identify, organize, search for and filter resources. You can create tags to categorize resources by purpose, owner, environment and other criteria. We have already learned so many times that tags mostly used for cost allocation and etc. Whenever you want to see cost for defined by department or application or X project or etc., tags are the ones that play a crucial role. The name they want us to give is backup and the value is true. Then click save. Each resource can have a maximum of 50 user created tags. Okay, that is Web UI. Now they want to repeat the same for Bastion. They want us to go to tags. Okay, so choose that, Web UI, then click tags, then review it. Looks like they already have some tags there, but the one we created is at the top, backup row. And they want us to repeat the same for Bastion host server. Okay, I don't know what is going on with our lab. It is already 3 minutes. When we were doing Cloud Practitioner, the lab creation didn't take this long. Maybe because this is a paid option or subscription. Maybe creating a lab behind the scenes, maybe it takes time. I don't know. Let's give it some time. Okay, we have our lab. Now let's click on Open AWS Console. Now let's click on EC2, Instances, Web UI, Storage, and this is our volume ID. Click on it. Select this, tags, manage, add. I think they want us to add backup. True. Save it. Now let's go back to instances. Select this and click tags. You can see other tags created by AWS and the one we created. So select this, storage, select the volume, select it, tags, manage, add, true. Okay, now we can go back to instances. You can check tags. Okay, the one we created is right here. Okay, now let's go to AWS Backup. Let's read the concept. AWS Backup is a fully managed data protection service that you can use to centralize and automate across AWS services in the cloud and on-premises. AWS Backup does not govern the backups that you conduct in your AWS environment outside of AWS Backup. Now, after going to backup, you can see there are multiple things. Click on backup vaults, then you will create a backup vault. A backup vault is a container that stores and organizes your backups. When you first use the AWS backup console in an AWS region, the console automatically creates a default vault, which is something you can see here. Then they want us to create one called Pup-World backup. Encryption, they want us to use AWS backup, which is something they might have already created. When creating a backup vault, you must specify the AWS KMS encryption key, which is here, that encrypts some of the backups placed in this vault. Then once we enter that, we go ahead and create backup vault. AWS backup encrypts backup copies by default whenever possible, even if the original backup is unencrypted. Remember, even if the original backup is unencrypted, if you are making a copy of it, it encrypts it. Click next. Okay, that is created. So let's go ahead and do that. We have to go and search backup. Okay, yes, I can't. Okay, not back plan. Let's go click on backup vaults. The default one, you should be able to see it here. Now let's create a backup. Give it the name. Choose the key. They already created it for us. Good. Create backup vault. Okay, it's created. On the AWS backup console, the protected resources page, which is something you can see here, lists resources that have been backed up by AWS backup at least once, such as Amazon EBS volumes or Amazon RDS databases. If you are using AWS backup for the first time, no resources are listed on this page, even if a resource was assigned to a backup plan, but not run a scheduled backup job at least once. So we will create one by clicking create on-demand backup. Then we will choose EBS. Then we are going to choose that. Create backup now. Retention period days, 7 days. Then the backup vault we just created. This one, Pup-World backup. I think it should not have all underscores. That's fine. Then we are going to create an IAM role. Okay, let's remember that, I hope. Then the IAM role, they already created an IAM role, looks like, which is called backup role. So we'll go ahead and pick that up. Okay, that's it. Then create it. It's done. By default, AWS backup creates crash consistent backups of Amazon EBS volumes that are attached to an Amazon EC2 instance. Crash consistency means that the snapshots for every Amazon EBS volume attached to the same Amazon EC2 instances are taken at the exact same time. Okay, remember that. Let's go back here. Let's go to protected resources. We should not see any. Create on-demand backup. We are doing EBS volume. I don't know which one. I think the volume IDs are different anyways. So let's pick one. Retention period is 7 days. Did they switch it around? Backup vault, by which we created, which is this. Choose an IAM role, which should be let's search backup. Yeah, backup role. Now create on-demand backup. Okay, status created. So let's give it some time. Let's go back. It should say running, not created. Now let's go back. Now we will create a backup plan. Previously we created a backup vault, then we on-demand ran it, then we are creating a backup plan. How do we do it? Once you click on the backup plan, build a new plan, and the name should be this one. In AWS backup, a backup plan is a policy expression that defines when and how you want to back up your AWS resources, such as Amazon DynamoDB tables or Amazon EFS file systems. Once we enter that, we need to create a rule, and that rule name is backup rule. Then we need to create, select the backup vault which you want to apply this and how frequently. We'll say weekly on Sunday, and then we'll use backup window defaults. I think that's it. Then we'll go and we'll create the plan. Okay, cool. You can review backup plan ID, then scroll down. Not sure what they are going to show us. Then we have to assign the resources. We said we are going to have an EBS type, but we didn't assign the resources yet. You can assign resources to backup plans, and AWS backup automatically backs up and retains backups for those resources according to the backup plan. Okay. Then we will go and click assign resources. Before that, before I forget, let's go. Now it is running. The jobs are running. Good. I have to create a backup plan. I think that's what they may ask me to do. We're going to create a new plan, and the backup plan name is that. And then they wanted us to give a rule. I think it is called backup rule, if I'm not wrong. And backup was not the default one, the one that I created, and they want it to be weekly on Sundays. And then did we see this? I thought I think we saw some default settings for backup window, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, use backup window default. Don't we have that option of selecting the defaults? Did they change it? Interesting. Okay. Start with, then transition to call, never copy to destination. Should I? Is it required? Let's see. I don't want to give. They don't have that option anymore. Okay, let's see if it complains. It didn't. Then we have assigned resources immediately. So let's go back and check that out. Yeah, I think looks like they removed this one. Okay, we are done with this. Then we will go assign resources. You can assign resources to backup plans, and AWS backup automatically backs up and retains backups for those resources according to the backup plan. And we are going to say tagged resources. That is the name we are going to give, the assignment name. Then choose an IAM role, the backup role we are going to choose. Then which tags? When we are saying backup, any resource that has a tag which says backup as true. Now you know why we created those tags. Now it will go and check all the services that have these tags, and it will back up them automatically. So here we have to select include all resource tags types. Using tags to assign resources is a quick and scalable way to back up multiple resources. Any resources with the tags that you specify in the resource assignment are assigned to the backup plan. For example, if you have assigned resources with the tag key as backup and value as true, you have assigned all your resources tagged with the key value pair. Be aware that tags are case sensitive. Okay, then continue, and then it is completed. The status of the backup jobs is completed. Now let's go and do that. Include all resources. Okay, first choose the AM role, then search with backup because they created role for this. Then include all tags, add the tag, and I think I created it with that, so it is also showing me that, and equals true. Assign resources. What? Oh, sorry, I didn't give an assignment name. What was that? Do you guys remember? Tagged resources. Continue. Okay, here we are. If I go to my protected resources, not here. Yeah, jobs. It is completed. Click protected resources, I guess, which we did a minute ago, right? Protected resources, and this should actually, can I refresh it? Maybe not. And then click on the resource ID, which we will do in a minute, and then it will take you to the snapshot, or that snapshot I think it created for us. You can create multiple backup plans if you have workloads with different backup requirements. I think that's about it. So once we are here, let's click on this, and it's completed, guys. It created a snapshot just now. I think before we didn't, but right now you can see that. Okay, so that being said, I think that's about the practice lab. Congratulations, and congratulations to me. Now let's go and do our DIY. Not sure what they're going to ask us. Configure AWS backup plan for Amazon Aurora serverless. We will verify that you created an automated backup plan for the Amazon Aurora serverless cluster using the tag backups-diy equals to true. Okay, let's go configure with the default backup vault. So the backup vault already exists for us. So as you can see, we have the default backup vault already here. But what we are going to do is we are going to create a plan for it. And what is the ask? By using default backup vault. Okay, they want to create a, okay, I am going to, then we are going to assign Aurora serverless cluster with that tag, which we will. So build a new plan, and the plan name will say, we'll just use that one. What is it? Backup DIY. And I will say this plan. Backup rule, I will just say rule. How convenient. Backup vault is default. Backup frequency, will just go with whatever they did. That's fine, because they didn't tell us a specific thing that we need to do. So we created the plan. Now we will assign resources. Choose this default, same thing, and backup role as the role. Include a tag, they said is backup DIY, and the value true. Assign resources, or condition equals assign resources. Oh, I didn't give a name. Assign names, continue. Okay, so now the default, sorry, this plan has, that is the vault, default vault, and this is the assignment. Okay, so everything looks good. So what are we doing? We have to go, because this job is completed. We have to go to protected resources, create on-demand backup, and which one we are doing? Aurora. Choose cluster, so there should be a cluster already running, which is this. Create backup now, yes, and we will just say 7, similar to whatever we did. And default backup vault is default, guys, remember, and this is going to be backup role. create on-demand backup. Now it's created, then it's running, then it should say completed. I think it's a cluster, so it might take some time. Just give it a minute, or maybe more than that. Now let's go back and let's see what they are asking. Once we do that, the plan should be configured to perform a backup every 12 hours. They didn't tell us to do that. That's fine. What are they asking? Backup plan ID. Okay. Backup plans. This is our, how many hours did we say it is? We said weekly. They want every 12 hours. Okay, I will update it. What's there? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, it is completed. Now let's go back. Oh, I didn't copy it. Backup plan. And I think, are they asking name or ID? They asked ID. Can I not copy it? Validate. So in the last lab, this got hung when we are validating. Let's hope it won't do the same thing again. Let's hope it finishes successfully this time. All right, people, it's doing it again. It's got stuck again. I don't know what is going on with the solution architect assignments, but we have done what we are asked to do. Okay, so I think we should be fine. At least, I mean, if whatever we did is wrong, it will usually say it is wrong, but it is getting hung. And the another thing is I cannot even stop the lab, so it will run for 1.5 hours more. And I think, yeah, the lab is still working though, it's not doing anything to it, so it will run for more 1.5 hours, and I think they have, it's more charges for them, I guess. That being said, so I think I will wrap this up here. And in this particular project or assignment, we learned about how to back up different services. We backed up EBS as well as Aurora. Okay, so we learned these new two concepts in this video. So you can put another project to your resume saying, you know, you used to back up these XYZ resources and this often. So now you know the logistics behind AWS backup. You know what is a backup vault, you know what is a backup plan, and then you know how to assign resources to it, and how to, you know, run on-demand jobs on an AWS backup. Okay, that being said, thank you very much for following this series. I really appreciate it, because there are only a few number of people that are actually watching this, but I'm still making this because this is practical knowledge, right? Maybe the others we have, they're all theoretical knowledge. You can learn theory, but for interviews and real-time work, you actually need practical experience. So this gives you that. So if you're planning for any of those, watch this series and learn how to do certain things practically. I hope you are enjoying this. If you are, you know what to do. Subscribe if you haven't. Do like and comment. Like the video. This is going to tell me that you are interested in more videos in this series. So don't forget to like and comment. Okay. That means thank you. Have a great day. See you in the next one. Peace out.